there. Thank you very much. Welcome to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt, and we are in Roth for the Challenge Roth, the 12th edition. With us right now is a gentleman who has won Ironman New Zealand 10 times, winning a race 10 times. Cameron Brown from New Zealand. How you doing, Cam?
Good, thanks, Bob.
So nice to catch up with you here, bud. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. San Diego probably a few years ago, or Hawaii, I suppose. Yeah.
Hawaii, yeah. So take us back a little bit. How many times have you raced here?
My first one, I think, was 2000, and then 2001, and then I came back again last year.
Oh, so a big gap.
Yeah, big gap, yep.
And what had changed with this event between 2001 and coming back last year?
Oh, I think it's just grown immensely. It's massive now. You know, it was back then probably it was 1,500 athletes. Now it's 3,000 individuals and 600 teams. So it's just the expo is just incredible. It's the best expo in the world, I think. So
when you look back at your career, and I know 2 seconds and 2/3 in Kona, 10 wins at Ironman New Zealand. Whoever would have thought that when you first got in? When you first got into the sport, when was that and why was that? I was back in probably 1987. Went to a new school and they had a real cool teacher that really got involved in triathlon and secondary school level. Triathlon was growing, it was getting massive, and we had the likes of Aaron Baker and Rick Wells, and that was just incredible having them through that era. And remember Rick Wells coming to our school once, and we were just in awe of this guy. You know, he was world champion in 1987, I think, in Perth, and to have him on the start line at every race you did was just very, very. It was great for Kiwi athletes. Did you realize early on that the longer distances were better for you? It took me a while. I mean, I tried to do the Olympic thing, and so I tried to qualify for Sydney in 2000, but just didn't have the speed, and so I just did my first half Ironman when I was about 21, but then there was another big gap, and then did my first Ironman in 1997 in Auckland, and had a shocker, and learned a lot, and then came back a few years later and got second behind Tim de Boom in Taupo. Okay, yeah, so you got second behind de Boom the first time out in Taupo, and then from 2001, 2005, you win it. Then you have another second, and I think that might have been a shortened year, duathlon, something weird. So in the years you didn't win, really weren't a full Ironman, or something weird happened. Yeah, no, those 2 years, it was. We were lucky to race. It was the conditions of the Lake Taupo were just, you could surf on it. It was just incredible, just amazing, and. So luckily, 1 year was a duathlon, and then 2 years ago it was a half Ironman. So when you look at the fact that you won that race 10 times, that seems surreal. I don't think any triathlete has ever won 10 of one. I mean, there's a number of athletes who've won 10 Ironman races because there's so many of them, but winning 10 of the same one, I don't think anybody's ever done that. No one's ever done it, and I think just always training through a New Zealand summer, I just couldn't imagine not doing New Zealand Ironman. It was fantastic, and just the build up, and you're at home, you're training with your mates, you're eating, sleeping in your own bed, training with everyone, and so it's just easy, and it's just part of my summer. What's always fascinated me is here you are racing in March every year, and you have to beat your peak because it's not like the competition isn't great. Every other New Zealand kid wants to win that race and knock you off. Yeah. And then you also have to peak in October. How do you do that? Do you take a break in the middle somewhere? It's tough to peak a few times a year. Back then, I used to always have sort of 3 weeks off after every Ironman. Yeah. Then I'd come over to Europe and race either Frankfurt or here in Roth, and so I mean, I used to have 3 peaks. I didn't race much, and but nowadays I just don't have any time off because I'm 41 years of age now, and every time I take time off, I just get injured. So now it's just about going out and just getting the legs, taking them over again, and I'd love to have 3 weeks off after an Ironman, but I just seize up and I get injured. So it's. So this year, 2013, you were third in New Zealand, but you've done at least one other Ironman since then. Yep, but I haven't finished them. Yeah, it's been a shocking year. I did Melbourne and got sick before that, and then did Cairns, got sick before that. So I'm hopefully I want a good race on Sunday, and I'd love to go under 8 hours. It's been a sort of I missed it in Melbourne 2 years ago. I went 8 hours and 12 seconds, and no way you missed it by 12 seconds. Yeah, so I'd love to do it here, but you have to have the conditions have to be perfect here, and we saw when Andreas Rallet did
7:41. It was just an incredible day. It was just no wind, and you have to have that to have those conditions to be, have a perfect race.
So you said Rick Wells, Aaron Baker, those are sort of your role models. You're obviously the role model for people like Dylan McNeese and people coming now, and Hamish Carter and Bevan Doherty, all these great New Zealand athletes that followed you. You have to be proud of that, seeing where the state that you guys have won Olympic, gold and silver and all the rest of that.
Yeah, the sport's thriving in New Zealand, and I think it's helped now by the Kiwi Kids Triathlon, the Weet-Bix Kiwi Kids Triathlon. It's massive. They sort of get 20,000 kids every summer doing the these little 100-meter swims,
right.
5K bikes, and 1K runs, and you just have this mass amount of kids coming into the sport. So it's going to continue on, I hope, and the sport's just thriving in New Zealand. It's fastest growing sport in New Zealand.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. So at 41, obviously the end of the racing career is closer than the beginning. What do you see? How long do you want to be at the pointy end of the stick and keep racing? Or is it one of those things like Macca says, till they basically pull me out, until they basically say, "Oh man, you better go age group. I'm going to keep racing."
Yeah, I think I'm sort of like Macca. We've got a real passion for the sport, and we just we're not at the end of our careers and going, "Oh God, I don't want to go out training. I hate it and everything." I still love it, and coming to these places and just creating new friends and that, and it's just a lifestyle, and I don't want to give it up. It's it's fantastic. So I'll probably be like Scott Molina and training and racing until I'm 50, 60. So
why not?
Yeah,
it's the best lifestyle there is.
Yeah, it is. And it's a healthy lifestyle, and you get to see the world and get to travel, and it's fantastic.
Now, do your kids travel with you, or is that tough now?
Yeah, I mean, they used to when they were young. Now they're 10 and nearly 12, so it's pretty hard. And I wish we made money like golfers and
exactly.
Picked up a check for $1 million every time. But yeah, so they always come to Hawaii. They've had sort of 13, 14 travel appearances in Hawaii, so they love it, and they get to go to Hawaii every year. But and Australia a lot as well. So it's been they've enjoyed going around the world as well.
So what are you looking for at this race? Like you said, you've had two races where you had to pull out, haven't been healthy. What are you looking for?
I think just to get my mojo back really, and just have a good performance, and if I went under 8 hours, I'd be ecstatic and over the moon. But I wouldn't care if I wasn't on the podium as long as I went under 8 hours. It's just a milestone. That's it's one of those races that you can achieve at and go under 8 hours. But it's again, it just comes down to weather conditions and how you feel.
Well, one of the things that during when you finished second in Kona twice, both of those times were like, Cam Brown's going to run his way through the field and get up there. Have you ever felt like you've had your best day in Kona? I've always felt that you had a lot better run in you than we saw in Kona.
Yeah, no, I've never sort of had a great run there. It's sort of always probably been a limiting factor to win Hawaii. You have to have just a great day.
241, 242 day.
Yep, and I've just never been able to pull it off, and it's just tough. It's you try and be at your peak and fitness-wise and that, but I think if the World Championships were in Taupo in March, it'd be okay. But they're not. They're in October in Hawaii, and that's part of the sport. You got to try and peak on that day. And I've had great days, but never a fantastic day.
What when you look back in your career, best day ever, best race day ever?
I think probably the best ever was 2001 when I won the New Zealand Ironman for the first time. It was a dream come true, and the likes of I used to watch Scott Molina, Scott Tinley, Ray Browning, Dirk Ashman, and I all race New Zealand. We used to get in back of my dad's truck and follow them around the course, and that was just a dream to win that race, and to have it pull off in 2001 was pretty incredible.
So when you look at the field, at this stage of your career, do you even sit there and go, okay, I got to worry about this guy, or you go, you know what, I'm going to do what I do, whatever happens, happens?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great field, It's Dirk Bockel, James Kanama, there's a list of Germans, it's always
Timo
tough.
Brock,
yeah. So it's always fantastic racing in Germany, massive fields, good fields, but you can only look at yourself and what you can do, and hopefully you wake up feeling fantastic, and that's what you need to do to try and win one of these races.
I love it. Hey Cam, thanks so much for taking time. I know the race is only a couple days away. I appreciate you spending a little time with us on Breakfast with Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, Rainer, come on in here, man. As we bring Rainer in, this has been Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt. You can check this all on triathlete.com. Rainer, take us out.